Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Joey. I got a very important video for you today, and this is really critical for all the band leaders out there that are taking musicians out to gigs on a regular basis. And what we're going to discuss is we're going to go over the pros and cons of a green room. Yes, tons of pros. Yes, many cons. Many cons, many issues with the green room. This has been, in all my years of playing, it has been probably one of the main things that has gotten me into more amazing situations, and has also got me into several difficult situations that has caused a lot of chaos.
Sometimes it's hard to care. Sing a song, it'll make your day. A smile so hard to bear. Sing a song, it'll make a way. Sing a song. Sing a song. Sing a song. Sing a song.
So in this video, I'm going to go over kind of best practices, how to protect yourself, and what to expect with the green room. So first of all, my band plays a ton of wedding events and a ton of corporate events. And in my contract, it's so important to me that it's listed, in my rider with everything that I need. And it's something that's so important as well that what I will do is, in the very beginning stages of booking the event, I will get an email together with the client who hired us and with the venue lead. So this is super, super critical. I get this email going together with the three of us because it's important to knock some of these things out ahead of time. There's been, I can't even tell you how many times that in this three-way email, the first thing I'll discuss is, can I find out where our green room is going to be? And then sometimes the event lead will pop up and be like,
hey, we don't have a green room.
I can't even tell you how many times. You're already booked for the gig, but maybe the client just kind of overlooked that. And then at that point, then it's like, okay, well, now we're on to something. And then the client will say, oh, yeah, well, we need this. And then they have to do whatever they do. But then at some point, they're like, okay, we're going to stick you in such and such room. And, or it's like, you have to go back and forth and you got to figure out what you're going to do. If they say, hey, we don't have a green room, there's just nowhere to go, then it is what it is. And then you have to start, taking care of that situation, which means there's been some events that were really good that I didn't want to turn down because there was no green room, where we actually had to eat in the van. We've had to eat on a dock. We've had to eat on a picnic table outside. We've had to actually rough it, but I don't choose to do that very often, and nor do we have to. And so, then what'll come up is the venue will be like, oh, okay, yeah, fine. We can easily put you guys in this room, no problem. So there, you've got your green room taken care of. Everybody's on board. As a band leader, you absolutely want to make sure that the band members have this green room to go to. Plus, after you get everything hooked up and everything ready at sound check, you need to take all your cases back to a certain room. So we do this in our green room. And then plus, in there we can do stretches, we can, warm up, and as a band you can be like, hey, you know that part that we want to go. You know what I'm talking about? You want to go through chord changes. You want to say, let's go to the E, let's go to the D. We're going to be doing happy birthday, all these things, and you don't want to be doing that at the party. Plus, the client doesn't want to see, you and four of your band members loafing around, playing video games or, doing whatever. God forbid a vocalist needs to warm up. Of course they can't do that in the party. I live with the singer, and I'll tell you this much: when a vocalist is warming up, it's good that they have their own space to do so. all these reasons, band needs a green room to eat. You need a place to go when I'm not helping the event. But for the most part, this green room is for your band members to chill. You want the room for them. You want them to be able to take it easy, all those things. So a green room is a must. And, while you're kind of doing this three-way email, getting set up, for the loading dock, what time can I arrive, all these things, make sure that you go over the green room, you go over if you're supposed to have a bunch of snacks or if you're supposed to have water, making sure that everybody knows what's going on, because before, like a month or two before, everybody's cool to discuss this stuff. Everybody's down with it. But on the day of the gig, nobody wants to talk about this shit. And everybody's going to be busy working. So, it's good to get all this stuff straightened out ahead of time. So when you get to the gig, you get to the loading dock, first place you're going to go, you can walk to the hotel lobby and just, hey, can you take me to such and such room? And they take you right there. That's the first place you're going to go and load in all your personal stuff, and everything's great. All right, now we're going to get to the cons. And trust me, this is a crazy, crazy topic to go through. Basically, what's going to go on is that you've discussed in detail with the venue, with your client. Everybody is on board. You've got this amazing green room with 5 chairs and a table with all your snacks, everything you need. The room is so inviting. It's amazing. There's everything you need in there. So what's going to happen, there's going to be other vendors. There's going to be caterers. There's going to be photographers. There's going to be photo booth people. So all these people are going to start hanging around your green room, right? And this is a no-no. In every way, shape, or form, people will try to come into your green room. Now, the client could have been talking to one of their vendors, and then one of the vendors said, oh, we don't have anywhere to stick this, or, and then the client will be like, oh, hey, the band has a green room, we're paying for it. So, let's stick everything there. And for the people that are on break or whatever, let's move them all into the green room. Which is dicey, because the client doesn't know, they don't book bands every day. They don't know that a green room, was just for the band or whatever. So you've gone through, you've fought for this green room. You've gone back and forth and you've discussed it. This green room is completely set up for you and you alone. And at least that's what you hoped. But that's not the case. You get there, there's 5 people sitting at your table. They're all eating everything in the green room, drinking water and doing whatever else. And it brings up a really sticky situation, because, at that point, I've got to go to the client and say, hey, this was pretty much, just for the band. We need this place to go to when we're not playing. And sometimes the client will be like, this is real dicey, because the client is the most important person there. They're the ones that hired you. So you want to be kind and you want to be good to them. And so then, sometimes they might just say, oh, okay, yeah, I'm sorry, my bad. Move everybody out of there and get everyone out of the green room. And, this brings up another situation where, you could be leaving laptops, tablets, phones, money, instruments, everything in there. So the band kind of feels like this space is private. The client has kind of given it out to other people. There's been plenty of times where I've just said, okay, hey, everybody in the band, this green room is not secure. So make sure that you're, lock all your valuable stuff out in your car, those kind of things. Then you kind of have to just, at some point, you kind of just have to give up on it, because you don't want to give the client a rough time, ever, for any reason, because that's future money. That's, who you want to play for again. Now, if you do play for these people again, you can tell them the next time and be like,
there was a whole bunch of, weirdos in our green room causing all kinds of chaos. Can we not do that this time?
and they can be like, yeah, totally. Make sure that you're good to the client and you just kind of rough it if you have to. But in a perfect world, you'll have your green room, you'll have your space where you can eat and everything that nobody comes into. And then at that point, you can kind of even pull it into a good thing where there's been plenty of times where I'll just give you, for instance, I was playing an event. The band had an amazing green room and all the other vendors and stuff are kind of out in the cold. The client was like really great. They didn't let anybody get into our stuff. They didn't let anybody in there. In fact, it was locked with a key card, which is even better. That's rare though. And so the band has had an amazing space. So what I do is I take this one step further and I kind of pool that into some goodwill. Like there's plenty of times where we had tons of food, tons of water and everything. And there's been like maybe a photographer. I'll just use a photographer, for instance. They're just like kind of out in the cold, like eating in like a real uncomfortable spot. Maybe they don't even have a table. Maybe they're just eating with their plate or whatever, and I've walked by them before and said, hey, why don't you guys grab your things and kind of come and hang out with us? It's like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you so much for taking us in. Bring them into your amazing green room. Let them hang out, let them have snacks, because you never know where this photographer down the road is going to be in a position to refer a band. I shit you not. This has come up many, many times where if you put a little bit, or I try to put out a lot of goodwill. I try to always be putting out goodwill. You take in these photographers, bring them in there. Now, you don't have to let them stay. You can just be like, all right, everybody, we're going to be locking up. So, we're going out to go play. Because, again, you need to keep everything in the green room secured because that's, stuff walks off all the time. But you take these people in, give them a little bit of a home, give them water, give them snacks, give them whatever. Put some goodwill out there, and you'll never know what comes back to you. So that's what I got for you today. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you next time.